Whoa, what is going on YouTube? It's your boy Dan, aka aDrive. But guys, a Harry Potter Wizards Unite video today. Today I'm going to be breaking down top 5 tips for Harry Potter Wizards Unite to improve your gameplay experience, help you level up faster, and just enjoy the game a little bit better. There's probably going to be more than 5 tips in this video, but I'll do my best to keep it to just some pretty good stuff for you guys. Be sure to hit that like button down below if this video helps you out, and subscribe if you guys are new. I've been posting Harry Potter Wizards Unite content every single day. It's been a lot of fun. I'm actually level 16 already. You can see the game's only been out for 2 days. I've been grinding it, and you can check out my live streams on twitch.tv/aDrive if you want to watch the live gameplay footage. Now, for all my rural people out there, I know your pain. You can see where I live, there is absolutely nothing, but there are some pretty decent places nearby that I can play. I just have to hop in the car and drive. So trust me, I know the struggle, but you can definitely get your money's worth, or your free to play games worth out of this one for sure, if you're able to find some inns and fortresses and stuff like that. So anyway, let's kind of jump into some of the little quick tips, and hopefully this video helps you out, because there's a couple really good things in here. So the first thing, you're going to want to go to your settings. This is actually not even one of my main tips, but I just want to let you guys know there's a map camera idle option you can see. Just turn that to off. That's a big one. The camera like automatically like shifts around a lot, and that's a good way to do that. You can also do some other things. I'm actually need to download the assets and stuff, make sure that's all set up. But you can actually download all the assets in the game as well. You can see this little mark there. By downloading the assets to your phone, you're actually gonna kind of save on loading time, because it doesn't have to ping the server every time it needs to load an image or whatever. So that's kind of cool too. And then you can obviously mess around with different things. Turning off vibration will help your battery time. You can turn off AR and things like that. And obviously as you're playing, having AR on isn't too bad of a disadvantage, but having it off actually allows you to move a little bit quicker. But let's talk about some of the tips that I really wanted to talk about here. One of the big ones is Portkeys. You're gonna get 1 gold Portkey key. I'm actually using mine for a 5K, but one of my tips is gonna be to always use that for 2K. That way you can turn that key around faster and open more Portkeys or portmanteaus. The reason for that is the more you open, the more experience you're gonna get, everything like that. So that's pretty important. So you only get 1 gold key that can be used over and over again, similar to your endless incubator in Pokemon Go. So make sure you use it on the 2Ks, at least right now, because the destinations seem to be pretty random. Like I found Ollivanders out of a 2K. I've also found Hagrid's Hut. I found Borgin and Burke. So I don't even know if it really matters which Portkey you open, because I've actually found, like I said, Ollivander out of 10K and 2K. But just make sure that you're using that gold key on the 2Ks. It'll actually help you out in the long term, so you can get through more Portkeys, which give you more kind of experience. With that being said, kind of staying on the same topic of Portkeys, this is a really important tip here. When you go into a Portkey, make sure you check your ingredients and actually get rid of some of your ingredients. The reason being is when you enter a Portkey, once you finish that Portkey and collect everything, you usually get a pretty rare ingredient. You'll find some of the rarer ingredients that way, armadillo bile or unicorn hair or one of those. And if you don't have any space in your ingredients list like me right now, I actually either have to pay to expand my inventory, or I just lose the ingredients altogether. I'm hoping they patch that, but that's something to make note of. So anytime you go into a Portkey or anything significant, make sure you have room in your ingredients list. And while it seems appealing to just pick up every ingredient you find, a lot of times it's not going to be the case. I recommend looking into the potions and trying to get a better understanding of all the different potions and kind of which ones you think are most important. I've been focusing on healing potions right now, and then the brain elixirs, because those are really good. That's essentially a lucky egg like in Pokemon Go. It's going to boost your experience and allow you to level up faster. Which brings me to my next point. Using those brain elixirs are massive for leveling up in this game, and I'd highly recommend it, especially early game, to use Barufio's brain elixirs. This is gonna double the experience that you're gonna gain, and at the beginning of the game, it's gonna make a bigger impact because you're gonna be finding foundables that you haven't found before, so you're gonna get more experience for those. Fortresses are an incredible way to level up. You drop those runestones in there, you level up in the fortresses, and that's a really good way to get experience and ultimately level up in the game. And you're always going to want to use those brain elixirs before you open a batch of Portkeys as well to maximize your experience yield. This game is very cool in the sense that you can actually brew your own potions and essentially brew those brain elixirs, but they do take a long time to brew, and you obviously need the ingredients for them. So that's definitely a key thing that I would say focus on, is definitely focus on using those brain elixirs to max out your experience yield as you play through this game. That's one of the keys to me being level 16 already, is the fact that I've been using those brain elixirs and grinding it out that way. So those are a couple things there. Use your brain elixirs, always clear your ingredients, etc. For those who don't know, I actually made a video talking about this, but every potion has what's called master notes. And once you use the master master notes 3 times, it unlocks permanently, so you'll have it show there. But I did actually do the master notes on this one already. But basically, you can do various little commands in the pot. You can draw little things, you can do the pinching, you can tap, you can draw side to side, etc. And that's actually going to increase your brewing time by 15%. So being able to brew potions faster means you can get your items faster, get rid of ingredients faster, and ultimately continue like playing through the game and moving at a faster pace, which is definitely ideal. So make sure you're using those master notes. I'll put the description, I'll put the video in the description so you can check out basically how you can get the master notes. I have a complete video where I talk about all the master notes for all the different potions. Another tip that I think is super duper important that I really wanted to touch on is the item, the Dark Detector. Now you'll find that you get Dark Detectors from leveling up. Otherwise, it seems that there's no other way to get them aside from spending money. So these are probably the most crucial kind of item that I've come across in this game so far. Think of like an incense or a Pokestop module in Pokemon Go. These are going to attract various foundables and confoundables to inns and those locations. And basically, the key to this is at an inn, you're actually able to place 1, 2, or 3 dark detectors at one specific inn, and you can actually see them on the map if someone else has already placed some. So I would highly recommend, if you use the dark detectors, try to find a way to use 3 of them at the same time. My experience in doing so has resulted in incredibly rare spawns. In fact, the rarest spawns that I've seen in this game so far have actually come from dark detectors. And by clicking info, it tells you that you can amplify and reveal higher threat traces for 30 minutes around an inn. And when you stack them, you're increasing the chances of finding even rarer stuff. Like I said, pretty much everything that I found that was really, really rare, like high, severe, extreme threat levels, that's all come from just using 3 dark detectors at the same exact inn. So highly recommend it. I know they're a limited resource, so maybe it's best to team up with some friends and try to, you know, find some good inns that you're going to be hanging out at for a little while, 30-minute block. And, you know, each of you use 1 at a time, or if you're like me, you just stack all 3, dude, just go for it. Obviously, like I said, this is probably the one thing, if there's one thing to spend coins on in this game, I would say it's this. I would say it's definitely the Dark Detector, because you're gonna just get so many good things out of that. So you can also obviously expand your bag and stuff. I know that's a big thing, is people wanting to expand their bags. I can tell you I expanded my energy, and I didn't really feel like it was necessary to expand my energy at this point. Expanding ingredients, definitely something to consider. You know, I mean, expanding these pockets is definitely nice, but at this moment in time, I haven't really felt the need to do that. I really haven't. So I would definitely recommend, like, if you want to spend your coins right now, I actually think it's worth on dark detectors personally, just because you're going to find those rare foundables, which in my opinion is just making the game more fun. Like, it's really cool to find those super rare things, especially at this point in the game. Just my opinion. Obviously, a long-term decision would be to expand your inventory. But again, I don't really feel like the spell energy at this point is that important. However, maybe when I'm starting to face higher level fortresses, it might be more important to have a higher spell energy to be able to deal with longer fights in a fortress, because as of right now, like, you can definitely run out pretty easily. And I know spell energy is like the hot topic right now in this game. They've actually already released 2 patches to buff spell energy. One, there was a gift in the shop where you can actually get 50 free spell energy. They've also increased the amount of energy you get from inns. They just increased it again that you can get from inns. So there's been 2 buffs already in like 60 hours since the game came out to spell energy. So the ideal situation is they actually have a passive regeneration for spell energy. At this point, however, that does not exist. So hopefully there will be some sort of passive regeneration there moving forward. And then one other little thing that I just wanted to mention, since a lot of people have been asking me this question, is you do choose your profession in this game. You can see I'm an Aura, and I'm actually a level 3 Aura. You can see right under where it says Aura, there's like a little bar, 138 out of 140. That number there on the left-hand side that says 3, that's my Aura level. So that's going to be kind of the recommendation in terms of fortresses of what I can comfortably kind of deal with. So as you rank that up, you're going to see that your Aura level, or whatever profession you do, is going to be able to kind of take on the higher level of fortresses. Obviously, if you team up with people, you can probably do a little bit better. But just a quick explanation of the classes. The Aura class is like the offensive kind of damage dealing class. The Magizoologist is like kind of the tank support type class, and the Professor class is kind of like a middle ground, but is really good at debuffing the enemies. So some pretty interesting stuff. I've actually seen a pretty big mix between the people picking the different professions, and you can switch your profession. So if you start as an Aura and you want to switch to Magizoologist, you can. You just don't get to respec those points. So any points you put into Aura are going to stay in Aura if you switch to Magizoologist, and any points you put in Magizoologist are going to stay in Magizoologist. So you can, in theory, max out all 3 trees. It's just going to take a really long time. I've invested exclusively into Aura at this point. I've thought about potentially investing into one of the other professions as well and trying to build them simultaneously, but I'm not sure that that's the best approach at this point in the game, simply because the game is so new, and I think just being the strongest in one class is probably my best bet. I would say I think the class that's the weakest right now is the Aura class, but definitely something to note there. I think all 3 classes will have viability, and there's already events planned for this game to release all sorts of new stuff, so there's a lot of potential for what's going down here in Harry Potter Wizards Unite. I've actually been having a ton of fun, as you can tell by the fact that I'm a pretty high level 16. I'm actually pretty stoked about the fact that I'm level 16, despite my, my really bad area here. One other thing I wanted to mention, the last thing I'm going to mention in this video, is prestiging. Let me see if I can find a good example of me prestiging somewhere. Let's see. Did I prestige Pumpkin Patch? I think I did. I think I prestige Pumpkin Patch, didn't I? Doesn't it say 2? I'm trying to see if it shows exactly where I prestiged. But for those, yeah, so I just prestiged the Room of Requirement, I'm pretty sure. So you can see that there's a different frame around the Room of Requirement as there is the Potions Classroom. So you can see Borgin and Burks has a different frame around it than Nocturne Alley. It's got like a bronze frame, and that's because I prestiged that particular kind of portrait. So when you've unlocked everything in this portrait, let me give you a better example of one that I'm close to unlocking. I unlocked Pumpkin Patch. So Forbidden Forest here. Once I finish the Forbidden Forest and find all the different things I need to find, I can then click a little button in the top right corner and prestige it, and basically reset that particular painting and allow myself to obtain those items again. So this one I'm almost done. I just need 2 more of this item right here, which is the cabinet. Once I find 2 more Bogart cabinets, I'm actually able to prestige this page, clear everything, and then start it again, and that's just going to give me more chests to get more scrolls, to level up my aura, and whatever else. So just a couple of things there, a little bit of tips. I wanted to keep this to 5 tips. I think I was at about 10, but hopefully that helped you out, guys. If it did, hit that like button down below, subscribe if you guys are new, and be sure to check me out on twitch.tv/aDrive. My name is Dan. I also go by aDrive, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.